Hello, a very welcome, warm welcome to my YouTube channel. Hello, friends. In our last lecture, we have discussed the unit second, first part, that is pin culture and fish culture. Now, in the unit second of this paper, aquaculture, we are going to study the next part of this unit is the sewage feed fish culture. So, before we actually start the what is sewage fed fish culture, before with that we discuss the what is sewage or what the composition of sewage. Okay, so sewage, what is sewage? Sewage is a cloudy, dirty, and odorous fluid from our toilets and kitchens of our houses. Means whatever the waste is generated from our houses, from our homes, they are called sewage. It is again differentiated as it is cloudy one and it's a dirty one, and the odorous fluid is there. Okay, and it has minerals and organic nutrients in a dissolved state or dispersed in a solid condition. No doubt, when we observed the sewage, at that time we saw that particular sewage has a number of solid components. Okay, means in the form of other, and they have the mineral, organic nutrients also, and that organic nutrients, they are in dissolved state or dissolved form. Okay, so the term sewage refers to the used water released from human habitations and industries. Okay, so that water we have already used, and after using the wastewater generated from our human habitations and industries, they are called or they are referred as a sewage. Okay, so sewage causes environmental degradation in view of its poor water quality with high organic load and presence of minerals. So see here, it causes environmental degradation because the sewage has very poor quality, poor water quality. Means whatever the quality of water is there, for example, the DO, CO2 or other parameter is there. So that particular water, the quality of water is poor, and it contains very high organic load and the presence of minerals. Okay, so disposal of this potentially hazardous water is of great concern to the environmentalists all over the world. So we know the number of waste generated from our houses, from our homes. Okay, and that how the particular waste can be degraded, okay, or can be disposed. So this is a very hazardous, or this is very great concern to the environmentalists all over the not only our India, it is concern all over the world. Okay, and when we think about India, so in India the quantity of sewage produced per day is estimated to be around 3.6 million meter cube. So see here, the very huge amount of sewage is generated in our India, and of this only 20.4% is treated in different cities in the country. So among 3.6 million meter cube sewage, only 20.4% is treated in a different cities in our country. Okay, so the liquid waste discharged from domestic areas and industrial waste waters are referred to as sewage water content. Okay, and it contains minerals and organic matter in solution or suspension or in a dispersed state. Okay, so this is the thing about sewage. We know the sewage. What sewage is a waste water from which is emitted from our houses or industries. Okay, it contains very organic load, and the quality of the quality of this sewage is very poor one. Okay, so now we'll move towards the uh, composition of sewage. Means what contains it has, means in sewage how many contains is there. So see here, in this sewage the component of water is about 99.9%, while the solid dry matter contributes to 0.1%. When we think about 100% sewage, at that time 99.9% it contains water, and only the solid dry matter it contributes only 0.1%. Okay, so the composition of sewage generated from different sources varies in composition. No doubt, if the sewage is emitted from household, then the composition is different, and if the particular sewage is emitted from the or released from the industries, that contains different. Okay, that composition of the sewage is different. So different sources varies in the composition. Then the 20 to 40 ppm of organic carbon, 80 to 120 ppm of total nitrogen, it is present in the domestic sewage. So the organic carbon and the total nitrogen, it is found in a domestic sewage in 25 to 40 ppm and 80 to 120 ppm respectively. Okay, and when we in generally we sewage water shows following components. When we think or when we observe sewage water nearby us, so at that time, so the following components are present. So nitrogen, it is in 52 ppm, whereas phosphorus 16 ppm, potassium 45 ppm, and biodegradable organic matter is 350 ppm. See here, the biodegradable organic matter is very again important as far as the sewage is concerned, because whatever the waste is generated from the household or the any other sources, a number of pollutants they are present, and that pollutants in that particular pollutants we can differentiate into biodegradable and the non-biodegradable pollutants. So when the biodegradable components is present in the particular sewage, at that time this biodegradable organic matter near about 350 ppm is there. Okay, so industrial effluent contains more carbon as compared to domestic sewage. When one think about the carbon, so carbon is higher in industrial effluent as compared to the domestic sewage. Okay, and in the sewage water, nitrogen is present both as organically bound element and partly as a nitrate and nitrites. Okay, so salts of heavy metals such as zinc, nickel, chromium are recorded above the permissible limits in the sewage waters, and sewage waters have very high BOD, that is called biological oxygen demand. Okay, again this is the chemical factors. When we think about the biological factors or the biological parameters of the sewage, is the harmless and even useful non-pathogenic bacteria are present in much greater numbers in domestic sewage as compared to the pathogenic bacteria comprising mostly the intestinal organisms found in the community producing the waste. See here, the harmless means they are not harming to us. Harmless and even useful non-pathogenic bacteria, okay, means they do not have affect disease pathogenic non-pathogenic bacteria. They are present in much greater numbers in domestic sewage, and that number is compared to the pathogenic bacteria comprising mostly the intestinal microorganisms found in the community producing the waste. Okay, and usual load of coliform bacteria in raw sewage ranges between 108 to 109 mpn per 100 ml. Okay, and in view in view of the presence of high quantities of phosphates and nitrates, the water bodies where in sewage is allowed to mix, they undergo a process of eutrophication. No doubt the term we heard many times the term eutrophication, because of the high quantity of phosphorus and the nitrates present into the water body, and it becomes when the this content is high in water body, so the green mat is found on the surface of the water body is called a eutrophication. Okay, and the we know the disadvantages of eutrophication is it depletes the oxygen, or it decreases the oxygen level in the water body. because because of this green surface over the water, the sunlight is not penetrated up to the bottom. Okay, and if the sunlight is not penetrated up to the bottom, then the photosynthetic activity is affected. Okay, so photosynthetic activity is affected, so that's why eutrophication is not good for the any aquatic media. So for utilizing the sewage and sewage in aquaculture, treatment of the sewage is necessary. If we think that this sewage can we use in aquaculture, at that time you have to treat this water before we utilize in the aquaculture. Okay, means no doubt it contains many useful things which are useful for the aquaculture. So before we used it, you have to treat this water. Okay, so how you use this in culture, how we use this uh, sewage water using culture. So this is the flow chart. It's showing that treatment of sewage water for using fish culture ponds, how we can use it. So see here, inflow of sewage water, you can see in this picture. See here, inflow of sewage water in many sources, for example in household or in a industrial source. So inflow of sewage water is there. Then that inflow of sewage water is collected in what, in a waste stabilization pond 1, or oxidation, we can also say that oxidation pond. And later on, after some treatment, this water is again transferred to waste stabilization pond number 2, that is again work oxidation pond. And after this oxidation is processed over, this water, means the sewage water, is what it introduced into the freshwater pond, and later on the, what we can say, the place where we can plant the fish culture, that is the fish pond, this water is transferred to the fish pond. So see here, water quality management in the sewage fed fish culture pond is very important aspect. Okay, so sewage from the human habitations and industries could be used in fish ponds for culture of fish after proper treatment. Okay, if we want, or if you use to if you want to use this sewage for the fish culture, then you have to give some treatment to the water. Okay, so it contains large amount of organic substances and minerals, that is also important for the aquaculture or the fish culture. So in view of the presence of heavy quantities of organic matter which contributes to the nutrient level of pond after proper treatment, and sewage water initially stored in waste stabilization pond, I have just show you the this is the flow chart. So see here, the first sewage waters initially stored in waste stabilization ponds where the particulate matters settle down. You have to collect the sewage water in a stabilization pond at where this particulate matter settle down. Whatever the particulate matter is there, that is settled down in the particular what we can say the stabilization pond. And then the clear water is stored in oxidation pond. Whatever the clear water is stored in the oxidation ponds, and from these ponds treated sewage water is diluted with the addition of fresh water in proportion to means 1 to 5 is proportion is there, and filled with in the production pond, and that particular water is again filled with the production pond with the proportion of fresh water 1 is to 5. And in view of the availability of a greater amount of nutrients in the water, the plankton production is high and the fish production increases. So we have already discussed that this sewage water contains high amount of minerals, high amount of organic load. So because of this particular nutrients, organic load or organic matter, the natural food of the fishes, that is called plankton, it get increases. And if the particular food increases, simultaneously the fish production also increases in the sewage feed fish culture. Okay, so in the primary and secondary ponds, fish culture can be taken up. So see here, both the ponds we can take the we can use this pond for the fish culture. And in the stabilization pond 1, air breathing fishes such as Channa species, Anabas testudinis, heterogeneous fossils and the Clarias batrachus can be grown. So we know these are the air breathing fishes and they can survive at low oxygen also. Okay, when the amount of oxygen is low, the in that particular situation these air breathing fishes can be easily cultured in stabilization point number one. Okay, in that Channa species we can culture the Channa striatus, Channa marula, Channa punctatus. Okay, and Anabas testudinis, heterophilus fossils and the Cleides batrachus. Again, the Cleides batrachus is also one of the important catfish in our region. Okay, no doubt, because this fish in our area, especially in Marathwada region or in Nanded region, this Cleides batrachus fish or their natural breeding ground is not found. So by increasing this type of fishes where their natural breeding is not present, we can culture these fishes in the type of stabilization pond number one. Okay, and in the secondary pond, the major carps could be grown because of the differences in the water quality between the first and the second stage sedimentation pond. When we treat when the treatment is given to the stabilization point number one, so after this water is released into stabilization point number two, the major carp which are very important, so that carps would be grown because of the differences in the water quality between the first and the second stage of sedimentation ponds. Okay, in we can give an example of the sewage fed fish culture. So you see at the Vidyadaha sewage fed farm near Kolkata in West Bengal. In West Bengal state, the Vidyadaha sewage fed farm is there, and in the culture experiments using treated sewage water mixed with inlet water in culture ponds, a good production was obtained. They have a good production obtained by using the sewage fed fish culture in their farm. Okay, so that's called Vidyadaha sewage fed farm. It is near to the Kolkata. Okay, and the water quality of the treated water is optimal for the growth of carp fish, resulting in better yields. See here the Ghosh, the scientist, and their along with their partners or along with their other scientists, that is Ghosh et al., they are reported a production of 2.2 tons in a polyculture experiment including tilapia species and Cleides species. No doubt the data is older, but it is a good example of sewage fed fish culture. Okay, so harvested fish before marketing are transferred to the freshwater pond for a period of 10 to 15 days to remove the offensive odor and pathogens. No doubt, we know the when we see about the composition of this sewage, at that time we have discussed that it contains odor, or it contains what? It contains the odor or other pathogens. So if after the harvesting, you have to you make sure that these fishes after harvesting you have to transfer to the fresh water for the period of 10 to 15 days for the purpose of removing the offensive odor and the pathogens from the fishes. Okay, so how it get benefited, this sewage fed fish culture, how it get benefited? See here, the community benefits acquiring out the fish culture using treated sewage waters are: number one, management of sewage water otherwise causing pollution to production of fish. Okay, and to utilize the organic matter as manure for the production in the fish pond. So we know, we have already discussed that the heavy load of organic matter is present in sewage water, so that organic matter we can use as a manure for the production of fish pond, for the production in the fish pond. Okay, and to recycle water for agriculture or aquaculture. So this water can be used for the agriculture also as well as for the aquaculture also. Okay, and use of sewage in fish culture is highly profitable as the production cost is low. We know the we used only the sewage means wastewater, and by that it is it is very highly profitable as the production cost is low, and because use of fertilizers and supplementary food is not required, and the fish grow at higher rate. So in this sewage fed fish culture, there is no what we can say there is no use of fertilizer, and supplementary feeding is also is not given to them, because they have already organic load is there, organic minerals, and already they have minerals. Okay, so in that type, in that it is very beneficial one for the we can say that beneficially to the human beings. Okay, so see here the fish species suitable for sewage feed fishery. Just we have discussed which type of fishes we can use for the culture of for the culture in fed fish culture. So the tilapias early now earlier the this fish is called tilapia, but nowadays it is called Orycrumus mozambicus. Okay, and number of species there in tilapias. So tilapias and some air breathing fishes such as channa, see here channa species, anabas. See here the above three pictures, it shows the channa species, channa punctata, channa marula, channa striatus is there. Okay, then the anabas testudinis, then the heteroptenous fossils, this one the yellow color background is there, so that is called heteroptenous fossil, and the Clarius batrachus. Again, these are the six species. Above three species is the air breathing, and it can be give a good production of the fed fish culture. Okay, then the cultivable species of freshwater fish, no doubt the Indian major carps in the Katla, Lebiorvita, Sinus mrigala, then the exotic carp including the Cyprinus carpio, then the Tinopachdina adila and the Hepipimys moltrix can be grown in sewage fed water also. So these are the six fishes. You can just see here this Katla, Rohu, then Mrigal, Cyprinus carpio, then the Tinopachdina adila and the Hypopthelium moltrix. Okay, so these six species we can, when in a normal water we have select this species, but this treated water or the sewage treated water can also used this type of fishes for the culture. Okay, and by culturing this type of fishes in this water, we can once we can means we can get a good fish production, as well as we can utilize this sewage water for this good okay, we can use this sewage water also, and by using this sewage water we can also contribute to environment also, means the whatever the harmless or harmful contents they are present in the sewage, that can be removed before the stocking this type of fishes also. Okay, so with this this is a feed sewage feed fish culture. Okay, now the next part of this unit we will discuss by tomorrow. Okay, or in our next lecture we will discuss the next part that in the unit number second. Okay, till then I will stop here. Okay, bye.